We get to go with that feed down there at Kingsway. All right, so we will have that whenever Steve Tambolini starts talking. You will hear it. Reed Wilkins is down there doing, as he usually is, Bob, most of the work for us. So he's down at Kingsway setting that up. The forwards, as you say, probably 15 forwards coming to camp here for the Oilers whenever it opens, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, somewhere in there. Go ahead and break it down here. Top six, I think, pretty easy to figure out. Taylor Hall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Jordan Eberle, Ales Hemsky, Sam Gagner, Nail Yakupov. Do you think there's any chance, we'll start with Yakupov, any chance that he starts, maybe on a third line, moving a guy like Hartikainen up inside the top six, maybe just to shield Yakupov a little bit?
The only way I could see that happening is if Timo Hartikainen, where did he finish the year last year? Playing with Nugent-Hopkins and Eberle, because Taylor was out of the lineup. So maybe potentially you could see Hartikainen in the mix playing with Nugent-Hopkins and Eberle, but if we take a look at what happened in the last 6 weeks down in OKC, it's pretty obvious they got set on Nugent-Hopkins with Hall and Eberle, and then when Nuge went over to the World Juniors, they replaced him with Mark Arcobello. So I think we're going to, for sure see Hall with Nugent-Hopkins and Eberle. I want Yakupov to play in the top six. He has to be given that opportunity. The only question is, what side does he play on?
Who changes?
Is it Hemsky or is it going to be Yak that goes over to left wing? I know. And we'll get to the power plays in a second as well. And then Gagner, obviously, to center that line. And then I think that Hartikainen ends up in the third line, maybe with Smith and Horkoff. And the only concern I'd have there is foot speed for that line. Like, do you maybe need a faster winger to play with? Horkoff obviously has foot speed as a centerman. There's no question about that. Ryan Smith showed that he's got that competitive will and that competitive drive. He's going to find himself in the top nine. That would allow you to play the likes of, say, Eager and Belanger in the fourth line, which is where they belong, and then with either a guy like Petrell or Magnus Piari, and then Hordichuk when you need a little bit of toughness.
And that is something that and this is going way back now, we're going to start having these conversations again, but when Darcy Hordichuk re-signed, one of the reasons why he re-signed here was conversation with Ralph Kruger and a comfortability that he was going to be given a little bit more green light than he was under Tom Renney, which would indicate maybe a few more games and certainly a little bit more ability to go out and do what it is that he does well.
What I've experienced with Ralph is that he has a simplicity in terms of how he delivers a message. And I think at times Tom overcomplicated issues. So, and I think that helps younger players. And it may also help guys that are in the role of an enforcer when they're in the lineup. I mean, Darcy Hordichuk's the Oilers are going to play Minnesota 5 times. They're going to have Matt Cassian, and they picked up what's his face from Ottawa, Zenon Konopka as well. I mean, that's a tough team all of a sudden. So you're going to need, and the Oilers have got skill in the top of the lineup, so they're going to need to have that. To me, that's still a bit of a question mark. I don't know how much toughness you need in today's game, but I'm not sure the Oilers have enough toughness, and I wonder if they would look at maybe claiming somebody off of waivers out of another organization when they get sent down as well.
If you do have thoughts, you have questions, want to start a conversation, give us a call, 780-496-0063, 780-496-0063, as we can finally get back to talking hockey here. You mentioned the power play units.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to figure out what the first power play unit is going to be. And just, by the way, about that top line, I talked to Jordan this week, and one of the things he said, we talked about the chemistry that he has with Nuge. He said people don't realize or talk enough about how well I play with Taylor Hall, like
right.
how well we play together. And those three guys, I think, do view themselves as a trio. And when you got two of them right now signed to $35 million plus deals, that counts. What they want does count for something.
Absolutely.
And
but let's take it one step further here, just regarding the two units. What did Timo Hartikainen? Nugent-Hopkins was over at the World Juniors.
Yes.
Arcobello was in Nugent-Hopkins' spot, right?
Yes.
But Hartikainen was on that unit as well.
Yes, he was.
So you can make an argument, instead of having Horkoff on the first unit power play, is Hartikainen a better net presence?
You're talking about front of the net, crease banging.
Right.
Horkoff did a good job of that last year.
And he did a very good job in puck retrieval. He did not get enough credit for the success that he had in puck retrieval.
Yeah.
But maybe you go Hall, Nugent-Hopkins, Eberle, Hartikainen, and Schultz on your first unit power play, all 5 guys that have spent the year down in the AHL.
Let's go ahead and talk to Brad, who's called in here, 496-0063. Good afternoon, Brad.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Really well.
I have 2 questions and 1 quick comment. First question is, do you think the Oilers would have any interest in Mike Commodore?
I wouldn't, but I don't know.
I don't see. I would say long shot.
I'm saying as an Andy Sutton third pairing kind of player who can put up some minutes on kill penalties kind of thing?
There might be better guys than that available. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Another question: do you know if they buy out a player, can they re-sign the same player they buy out?
No.
Okay.
Not. You can't buy him out and then turn around and re-sign him right away.
Can you Can you trade him? Like, for example.
Yes.
Could you trade Horkoff to the Habs for Rene Bourque? They each buy out their guy and then re-sign the guy.
Yes, I think you can do that, but we don't know what. Just to set the record straight, we don't know what the CBA looks. We don't even know if the buyout period starts right away or if it doesn't actually take place until late June, like it has the last couple of years.
Yeah, there's still a lot to be figured out.
We don't know that.
Trade deadline's another one.
We don't know
when
the trade.
We do know that the NHL wanted to move free agency, and the NHLPA held strong, and that will remain July 1st.
Right.
The NHL wanted that to be later. I want to know when the CBA expires, because that was another bone of contention, not just the length of it, but the NHL wanted, the PA wanted it to remain September 15th again.
Right.
The NHL wanted it back in June, so there's not this spending spree that there was this time around. So there's lots that we don't know yet. We'll go to Travis up next. Hey, Travis.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Really good, thanks.
Good. Just wanted to make a quick comment. I refuse to buy a ticket to see the Oilers play this season or next season in protest. I don't want to spend my hard-earned money listening to guys bicker for half the season. And as much as I'm glad that the season's going to start now, I just don't think that they deserve my money.
Well, you're entitled to that right.
Yeah, Travis, we appreciate the call. Thank you. Certainly, if that's the voice, then that's the voice. And you know, last lockout, the fans came back in droves. The revenues grew 7 consecutive years. That's going to be a major question. I'm concerned about this, just in terms of the growth of the game. Calgary especially. This is the example I've been using talking to people about it. Calgary. Their team goes south, which is easy to imagine that it could. If they get off to a bad start, even in a Canadian market. Is that building full? After this, you know, in the middle of February, if they've started 5-10, saddle them full every night, or do the fans say, you know what, screw you guys?
Take a look at Jerome McGinley's contract. Let's say they're sitting there at 8-14 through 22 games.
There's another storyline whenever the trade deadline comes.
Exactly.
3 minutes before 2:30. That means we take a break. When we come back, you will hear General Manager Steve Tambellini on the air. It's the voice of the Oilers, 630 CHED.